In the span of just 4 decades, Japan underwent an astonishing change that propelled it from a centuries-old feudal society into a global powerhouse. So how did Japan become a world power, emerging from the shadows of isolation, harnessing the winds of change and unfurling its wings of progress? Who was behind this incredible journey? Was it the spirit and courage of the whole nation, or a great leadership that turned an ancient island nation into an unstoppable force in the blink of an eye? In today's episode, we are going to unveil some historical secrets behind Japan's meteoric rise following the Meiji Restoration and find out how Japan, against all odds, harnessed the spirit of Meiji Restoration that left an immense impact in the global history. So, without any further ado, let's get into the historical saga that would make even the most riveting blockbuster movie seem tame. In the mid-1800s, Japan's political landscape was a classic case of divided power. Despite the emperor being in control, the royal family's authority dwindled over centuries. The real muscle was held by a formidable warlord known as the Shogun, who lived in Edo, later known as Tokyo. Fast forward to the 1600s, and Japan had wrapped itself in a cocoon, shutting out the outside world. Foreigners and trade were off limits. But then, on a fateful day, July 3rd, 1853, American Commodore Matthew C. Perry sailed into Edo Bay with a squadron of American warships. Boom! Japan's doors creaked open to foreign influences, kicking off an intense power struggle and a fierce thirst for change within the nation. Yes, you have guessed it right. Japan was in for a wild ride. The clash of cultures, the tussle for power, and the winds of change set off a chain reaction that shook the very foundations of Japan. Japan in the mid-1800s was like a seesaw of authority. On one side, you had the emperor, but let's be honest, his power had been sliding downhill for ages, as we discussed earlier. Now on the flip side, we've got the shogun, a powerful warlord, the real puppet master. When Commodore Perry arrived, his powerful American fleet left no doubt. Japan couldn't fight those mammoth ships. Perry's demand: open some ports for water and coal. The shogun agreed, and the floodgates of foreign influence cracked open. Perry's demand for open ports had Japan reeling. They saw that facing those mighty American ships head-on wasn't an option. That's when the shogun caved, agreeing to let them in. As other Western powers followed suit, Japan found itself caught in a whirlwind of foreign treaties. In 1858, the United States negotiated a game-changing deal that opened Japanese ports for trade. But not everyone was on board with these unequal treaties. Powerful families rallied against them, urging the emperor to stand strong. Emperor Komei had now become more of a symbol than a true power player. Tensions increased as resistance flared. Samurai clashed with foreign forces. But when Emperor Komei passed away, the stage was set for a seismic shift. His young son Mutsuhito took the throne, and the rebels in Kyoto seized the moment and declared Mutsuhito as the Emperor of Japan. However, Shogun marched with his army to gain control once again. But this time, modern firepower trumped swords. The shogun's defeat marked the end of an era. Many people at that time believed that Emperor Mutsuhito will take charge, and he'll hit reverse, bring back feudal glory, wave off foreigners. But here's the plot twist: he had other plans, and they were nothing short of revolutionary. Emperor Matsuhito's counselors drafted the Charter Oath. It was a declaration that ignited Japan's modernization journey. On April 6, 1868, he proclaimed it, and it only changed things for better. The Charter Oath was indeed a game-changer. It championed representative assemblies, told people of all classes to chase their dreams, and kicked feudalism to the curb. It waved in Western-style laws, but they weren't just all talk. Japan's new leaders meant business. They saw their nation's weaknesses, so they rolled up their sleeves and launched a massive effort. Their mission was wealthy country and strong arms. They pumped up schools, increased industry growth, and aimed to stand shoulder to shoulder with the West. They knew canceling those pesky, unequal treaties would be sweet, but they played it smart. Strength first, retaliation-proof later. The new emperor was now known as Emperor Meiji, the Enlightened Peace. He took smart moves and switched capitals, turned Edo into Tokyo, and surrounded himself with a squad of power players, Japan's creme de la creme, taking their nation from feudal past to Western equal in a blink. Moving forward, the new leaders were Brimington, with great ideas and incredible strategies. They knew they had to rise before they could roar. So, the best way to beat the West was to join them. So Japan didn't just dip its toes into Western waters, it dived straight into it. The government sent special study groups to America and Europe to study their system. The best among all these missions that jetted off to the West had to be Iwakura mission, a cross-continental tour that happened between 1871 to 1873. The mission returned with some great research and declared that Japan was in urgent need of long-term planning, organization, and sheer hard work to become a modern nation. However, the next 3 decades witnessed a whirlwind of change. Foreign machines, experts, and engineers poured in. The British helped the Japanese with factories and railway lines, while the French drafted a legal code. The Germans turned the army into a powerhouse, and the Americans gave Japan modern education. Over 1,000 American teachers descended, bringing public education to kids of all backgrounds, shattering class barriers. Japan's sprint to modernization was like nothing the world had seen before. Step by step, Japan was embracing Western values like a sponge soaking up knowledge. By 1873, the nation also advocated the ideas of democracy, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It was then Ito Hirobumi, a political leader, became the father of Japan's first constitution. While traveling across Europe, he fell in love with the Prussian model of parliament in Germany. Inspired by the Germans, Ito secretly worked on the Japanese constitution for years. Fast forward to February 11, 1889, Emperor Meiji finally unveiled Japan's very own constitution, which was based on the Prussian model. Now, Japan also has its own constitution. From humble beginnings to an empire that was the talk of the world, Japan didn't just rise, it soared. When the Meiji Emperor was reinstated as the leader of Japan in 1868, the country faced significant challenges. It was militarily weak, mostly reliant on agriculture, and lacked technological progress. The nation was divided among many semi-independent feudal lords. To make matters more complicated, Japan had been compelled by European and American powers to sign treaties that limited its control over foreign trade and required foreign-related crimes to be tried in Western courts rather than Japanese ones. However, by the time the Meiji era concluded in 1912 following the emperor's passing, Japan had undergone a remarkable transformation. It had established a centralized, bureaucratic government structure. It introduced a constitution that set up an elected parliament. It developed an excellent transport and communication network. The nation witnessed rapid growth of an industrial sector built on cutting-edge technology and formation of a robust army and navy, boosting Japan's military strength. In just a few decades, Japan had journeyed from its initial state of weakness to becoming a modernized and formidable nation on the global stage. Meiji restoration had proved to be an incredible turning point for Japan and contributed to. There we have it, folks. Japan and the story of the Meiji restoration has been a miracle that turned Japan into a global superpower. From a feudal society to a global powerhouse, Japan's commitment to change was unwavering. The Meiji leaders turbocharged progress, embracing modernization and setting off a domino effect that reshaped the entire nation. They rolled up their sleeves, introduced reforms left and right, and turbocharged sectors like industry, education, and military with a can-do spirit that left everyone in awe. With the Meiji Emperor stepping back into the spotlight, it was like a superhero origin story unfolding before our eyes. Fast forward to 1912, the Meiji era wraps up, and guess what? Japan's got a makeover that no one could have ever envisioned. On that note, we are wrapping up today's video. Thanks for joining in. If you enjoyed today's journey back in time, give this video a thumbs up. We would love to hear your valuable thoughts on our video in the comment section below. Don't forget to share our videos with your friends and family who are history enthusiasts and would enjoy this interesting historical episode. To keep an eye on the daily dose of fascinating historical facts and happenings around the world, smash the subscribe button and turn on the notifications. We will see you soon with another exciting video.